Hi everyone, welcome back to Eyes on Prize and welcome to this series that I'm about to do called Sin in Camp. I remember that God wanted me to do this from last year and I keep procrastinating, not wanting to do it, and I did a story on pedophilia in church, and that's not what God wanted me to do or say. He wanted me to entitle it Sin in the Camp. So now I'm being obedient because even though it's a year ago, it's still in my spirit. I fast on Sunday and it's still in my spirit. That's what God want me to title it, Sin in the Camp, meaning sin in the church. Because it's time now for everything to be exposed, what's going on in the church, because it's been going on for a long time and everything is always covering up. So it's time for everything to be exposed. I remember my pastor that when I got saved, my pastor, he was old school. Old school is a no-nonsense pastor. You do not compromise sin. If anybody sin in the church and God expose it or expose them, my pastor will let you sit down. Doesn't matter if you are a minister, evangelist, even if you sing on the choir. If God expose your sin, you cannot be on the choir anymore. You cannot be on the pulpit anymore. You're not going to be, he's not going to tell you not to come to church. He just want you to sit down and you deal with whatever going on with you. You and God get back in touch with God and know that God will expose any sin. So he never puts you out. He just sits you down, which in my opinion is good. I like that. So this story started a couple years ago that there was this particular guy that was in our church that was a pastor's son, grandson. And he came to our church and loved our church, so he joined that church. So at first, let me explain a little bit about him. He's always well dressed in every color suit there is, and he looked amazing in every single suit that he wear. He was just one of them that was a great dresser. He have an eye for fashion. And he joined the youth choir first, and then he joined the mass choir. Then he become the choir director. So he was really just that guy. And when he's dancing, when he's leading the choir, he just liked to move, which is nothing inappropriate. It was just like he just liked to move when he's directing the choir. So I remember one night, because I love night service in our church. That's one thing I always love, night service. That's the time that people are, let go down the hair and just enjoy when the anointing come through, the worship, the praise and worship. I always love night service because in my opinion, that is the best, because in the morning, we have visitor. So, the night we just like go for it, as in, we giving God everything that night. It's like we letting go, we're releasing everything that we're going through. And I remember that night there was a pastor was preaching about sin. So after that night, and we all went home, and that was a Sunday. The Monday, word came in that we had to pray for this church brother that I'm talking about, because he was shot multiple times. When he got home that night after church, he was shot multiple times. And the doctor was saying that he will never walk again, and because he will be paralyzed. But if he do walk, he's still gonna have a lot of handicap disability with it. So the church, one thing I love with our church, we love to pray. We have mother in the church. When you have problem, they go and fasting. There was a deacon there that when I tell you that man lay a hand on you, miracle do happen. So the old school service, we fear God. We did fear God at that time. We did. And it's like I said, they went into fasting. And prior, the mother of the church went to the fasting, and prior, the deacon went into fasting and prior. On Wednesday, the whole church going fasting. And we fasted for this young man. He got out of the hospital. Yes, he was in a wheelchair. And I'm going to tell you about 8 to 9 months when he got up in church and he walked out of that wheelchair. When I tell you, that was like so much praise and worship. in the church because God did it again. God healed him, and it was such an amazing moment that he got up and walked again after being shot multiple times and was told that he would never walk again. So God healed him, and he went back on the choir, worshiping and praising God. So the time that he was in got shot and was recovering, the pastor granddaughter fell in love with him. And during that time, because she was helping to, persuade him or help him to, you can do this, tell him, encourage him, you can do that. So he got out of that wheelchair, and, eventually they got married and they have a child. So everything was perfect, to the eyes of people. Everything was perfect until one day she got home early. And when she went home early, she caught her husband in bed with another man. Yes, with another church man. And that made her get so crazy that she had to get psychiatric help. She was just gone for a minute because I don't know exactly what she saw that got her in the mood of just losing her mind. She just was now losing her mind. She has to go and get help. So when all of this came out, exposure came out, she divorced him. After being married for a while, she divorced him. And then he moved back to his own town, because I guess everybody knows the story now in church. Because one thing, I'm going to tell you something about God. God don't just get up and expose you like that. He gave you a lot of chances to make it right, because we all sin and come short of the glory of God. But not because we sin, we have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. So God is not gonna tolerate sin, especially when you're pretending to be a Christian and living for God, when you're living a double life. That's God is not gonna be a part of that. So after he left and went home and they got a divorce, and he was in his own town, worshiping and doing whatever. This is what happened. That's why I also said the wages of sin is death. His family member was trying to call him and trying to contact him, and nobody seen him or heard from him for a while. And when they went to his house, they found him in the laundry room naked and chopped up. Whoever it was, chopped him up, but it came out that was one of his gay lover that actually killed him. And it's just sad that happened to him, but because I told you he was a good guy. He was a good guy, but he was struggling with homosexuality, obviously. And the thing is, you cannot be a Christian and be a homosexual at the same time, or gay. You can't. Two masters cannot live in one house. You can't be two. You either, reject one and accept the other. So the point I am making is that God gave him a lot of chance to just confess, because the moment you come to God, nobody say automatically you're not going to have the urge. You will have the urge, because it is a process. But you just don't just keep doing it knowing that it is wrong. And first of all, you got to have a personal relationship with God. And you got to ask God for help. And how you ask God for help, you got to fast and you got to pray. Whatever the mountain in your life, it only go through with prayer and fasting. That's the only way you can get rid of the habit that you have or what you're dealing with. And I guess he did not want to deal with it. I'm not sure on that part, but his life ended with him dying. And that's why I am talking about sin in camp, to let people know you cannot play with God. God is a loving God, but God is also a God of wrath. And if he tell you not to do something and you keep doing it, yes, he will expose you, and you never know how the outcome will be. So that is what I want to share with y'all today. And for those who are joining me for the first time, I welcome you to this channel. Remember to like, share, and comment to this channel too, and subscribe too, until I release another one. Have a good day, and God bless you. Bye.